Gemini and mouth people. It's a weird thing to make it, but there are two statues through there. One is of a person with their mouth in that state, in that position, and the other is of a open-mouthed dragon. And that's what I saw this morning. So how you are internally: Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting. And how that makes you act on the external: Knight of Swords. And something for the basis of the reading. Oh, I caught it. Hanged Man. Come on, son, stay out. And something from the recent past. Four of Cups, not wanting to take an offer. And a potential outcome. The Tower. What's going on here? And something coming up in the near future. Five of Pentacles. Gosh, we've got a really chatty bunch of cards. That's good. And your attitude. Straight out again. The Page of Cups. And your environment. Three cards. Oh no, two cards. The Seven of Swords and the Nine of Cups. And your hopes and fears. Oh, that's too many. There's a whole load of them. Hopes and fears. The Four of Pentacles, and the Strength card, and an outcome. Just put that there so I can see it better. And an outcome. Five of Wands. I like that. Great. So we've got three fives, I believe. Is that right? No, we've got two fives. No, where am I getting that other five? Yeah, two fives and two fours. And we've got four majors. And it's something to do with changing your perspective in order to, just one moment, what's going on here? What are you doing on your inside? To take an offer. To be able to take an offer, but in a way that it makes sense to you. So not necessarily how it's offered. I have my hair done, and it's still looking it looks a mess immediately. Not necessarily the way it's offered, but how it will work for you. I think that's it. Right. So, interior. Two of Swords. She's the minor to the High Priestess, and she's struggling to make a decision and pick a path. But with her, the very committed Eight of Pentacles, Will Ferrell in this deck. I'll show you why I say that. And the Wheel of Fortune. So you're sort of committed to making a move forward, but it has to be just right for you. And I don't know what this is about. I don't know whether it's in love. It could be in love. Or just generally in your community, work-wise or friends-wise. Let's see how it plays out. So there you are, committed but not making a move. And then how does that make you act? By making a massive move. So that's kind of confusing. Why? Let's get some, let's see whether I can see properly in these ones. The horse is kind of neighing in this one, and his toes are very pointed, this knight, and he's rushing in to try and make a change. Why is he doing it before you're ready? Why is he doing it? It's almost like I've been playing a lot of backgammon with my boyfriend here, and he's an amazing backgammon player, and I'm the worst backgammon player and a terrible strategist generally. Is that true? Well, that's how I think of myself. I'm a sort of enthusiastic game player, but not a kind of watch 'em and wait. I'm not like that little spider in the corner. So I feel like you might be a bit like me, which is you kind of know what you want, but you can't be, even though it's not quite right for you yet, you just sort of want to push forward, something that you really want to push forward with. And what's at the basis of the situation? Yeah, that you're being asked to change your perspective, and it's uncomfortable for you to hang around because you just want to get on and make this thing happen, whatever it is, and you don't really want to give it the time that Odin has to give this moment of epiphany. He has to hang there for like a week or 10 days, I think, and he looks quite content, but I'm not sure that you are. Look at his blue belt. Why is that standing out to me? And what's he got behind his back? And how beautiful is his halo? It's really appealing. It's so gorgeous. Look at that. And his little red nose. Has he been having a drink? I don't know. But so there's been a moment of pause, which we can see with the Two of Swords, where you're holding these swords, not quite sure what to do next, or which way, what decision to take next. But then you sort of break through it, even though actually you probably should have stayed in the pause. In the recent past, you've maybe missed an opportunity because I can see that you're refusing a cup here. And maybe that's why now your urge is to move forward so quickly, because you have felt that that was a sort of lost opportunity. And maybe you're slightly fixating on that. I don't know why I'm saying that. I just feel that, you know, here is a tree again. So a bit like the hangman is on a tree, here you're right next to a tree. Is it that you've actually, yeah, that might be what it is. I think you've missed the opportunity to, in the past, you've refused to get up on that tree and change your perspective. I think you've said, no, I'm just going to take a rush at this. I don't want to give it the time. I don't want to let go of something about my own perception. I think that's it. How interesting. And where this is potentially leading is building something on the wrong foundations. That's because you're not giving it the time in this little scenario, because this is a potential outcome, but only based on what we've got in the immediate future, internally, externally, just happened and about to happen. Once we add in your attitude and your environment and your hopes and fears, it gives it another layer, and we see it turning out a bit better for you, or a lot better. So beware that if you aren't able to give yourself that time to change the perspective, there could be something that's built on the wrong foundations. And coming up in the near future, the Five of Pentacles, yeah, I mean, not feeling where you need to be because perhaps you haven't given it the time because you were a bit impatient. It's a really different reading for me, but I feel like that's right. It's these ideas just sort of pop into your head, and this is all playful, and you must know your own life, obviously, but I hope that my intention is that these unlock something. There might be one sentence, there might be the whole reading, I don't know. Your attitude is full of beguilement with this beautiful fish in the cup, something that you love. It's a stage where you've fallen really in love. I always like to see his little zero on his blue head sort of scarf and hat, which reminds me obviously of the Fool. So there's a sort of fool energy of kind of enamoured, romantic, can be a little naive, but the imagination is alive and we love that. In your environment, yeah, a note of caution, because we've got these two and they're the same sort of tone of yellow. It's a sort of dark yellow. I mean, just in this pack here. And what I want to say is you need to be a little careful of being told something is a wish fulfillment and that you've got everything that you want, because you might be about to give away a bit of your power with this Seven of Swords, or you might be not looking at all the details. So this might be a work thing. It could be well be a work thing with the Eight of Pentacles there. And I think that you're jumping at some offer, potentially, or jumping at the idea of a new project and you're not looking at it properly. I love all the colours on these tents. Beautifully designed tents. It's making me think of this little Instagram reel I saw with a set of elephants that have been crocheted, these beautiful big blankets in India by their community of carers. You know, the way the mind works, you have to sort of follow it in these readings to see whether it unlocks something. So what's that about? Beautiful, handmade, cared for fabrics. Is that what you do? Are you in knitting, crochet, fabric design, pattern design? Do you make kind of repetitive patterns somehow? Do you make tents? Do you do parties? That's my other job. Anyway, regardless, there's a bit of a joker here. His fez hat makes me think of Tommy Cooper, that you'll know if you're English, who is a brilliant comedian. Look him up, an old-fashioned. But there's a sort of, he might appear to be all jokey and nice, this energy, but you've got to really watch yourself. You're being sold something that is a dream, a wish fulfilled, and it could be many elements of it that are wonderful. But what's behind that blue cloth, we want to know. What's hidden? And also, why is his bench so plain? I've never thought of that before, but why is it so plain if he's got everything he wants? I don't know, there's something up here. In your hopes and fears, you hope to move on from your stuck position, but while wrestling this lion, which could represent that kind of Seven of Swords energy, well, it could represent your own impatience, it could represent your own misgivings about a project, or the difficult personalities that are involved in this scenario. It could be a group of friends. It could be that there's one friend that you need to be a little bit careful of in a group. It's a strange thing to say. Why would I think that? And in order to, you just have to pause and meditate and really sort of get into the truth of the situation in order not to fall foul of this. But that's what you hope for. So there's a level of consciousness as to what's going on. And where we end is at the lovely Five of Wands, which I adore. I'm a ferociously competitive game player, but not in many other areas of my, well, I obviously am competitive if I've got it in there, but it doesn't come out in such an obvious way as, you know, there are many other aspects of my personality which will kind of mitigate that. But if you give me a game, there's sort of like the gloves are off and I just love it and I jump in. And so that's why I love this card so much for you, because it represents unleashing that blocked Two of Swords and the two fours that are holding on and not wanting to take the offer because they're not entirely sure, because they haven't done enough of the work yet. But it is quite like the Knight of Swords. So what I want to do when we clarify this now is just check that it's time for you. I mean, look, it's a lovely card. It unleashes loads of energy. But I just want to see what else comes out when we ask the Enchanted Forest Tarot, for instance. Could we cap this? Let's have a cap to this. Yep, one. And with another one. So this is the Two of Boons. We have to watch out for that ogre and overburdening ourselves. And what was this one that's standing up like this? The Eight of Spells. I love that. Okay. Where are the books? They're here. Let's go for the Two of Boons, because that's our primary energy that the cards was pointing out. And at a glance it says balance, steady attention, agility, taking care of your assets. So it's that sort of tending to things, not rushing around too much. Vigilance is called for because there's an ogre in the bottom waiting for him to drop something. A villager's been gathering firewood in the forest and is now wending his way home. The heavy baskets make a precarious burden, so keeping his balance on the narrow bridge should command his full attention, but he's not. But his mind is elsewhere, not fully present on the task. It would be too easy to fall off this bridge and smash on the rocks below. Not a pleasant prospect, even before you factor in the ogre. Wait, the ogre? He's hiding under the bridge. This is a ferocious cannibal. He would make quick work of a man if he fell. Matching my green glasses. This card is a warning not to take on more than you can safely balance and attend to. There's something called lazy man's load, where a person piles on the cargo to avoid having to make a second trip. This rarely ends well. Work sensibly and give your full attention to your endeavour, or it could all be lost. There are hidden influences waiting for you to slip up. Well, we see that. We see you rushing around a bit. That's like the heavy load. What do they call him? The lazy man's load. And we see that you have to be a bit careful here. So, then the Eight of Spells. The Eight of Spells. News and incoming messages. Swiftness, aiming towards a goal. The Parliament of Owls has 2 tawny owls, 1 little owl, 1 short-eared owl, and the formal name for a short-eared owl is an Asioflammius, which is also how you summon an owl. A Parliament of Owls incoming, zooming through the forest with the sureness of purpose. They carry a message for each magical portent. Some travel at the bidding of the enchanter himself, but anyone can ask an owl to carry a message. He'll decide if he wants to or not, or she. If you've been sent an owl before and didn't hear its message, you may be left on your own devices from then on. Owls do carry trivial missives. Crows are happy to do that. Do not carry trivial missives. Crows will do that. So when you see an owl headed your way, straighten up and prepare to receive it with respect. It might signify news on its way. It also means that the energy is increasing for an endeavour to which you apply your full will and intention. Things are speeding up and moving towards a positive conclusion. Watch the skies. Yeah, I think these two are very clear. They're just saying, you know, get everything, don't do the lazy man's load, watch for any kind of hidden adversaries or problems within this project, and then unleash this lovely wands, this 8 of wands, the project firmly going in the direction that you want it to. Right, one more card from the Shining Tribe Tarot. This is a bit more esoteric, it's a bit more complicated. That's about 8 cards, we're not having that. But I'll try and sort of dive through the book quickly. They're really lovely. They're based on sort of indigenous wisdom. So we've got, no, too many. Could we just have one card to clarify this reading for the people with the big open mouth and for Gemini? I don't know what that's about. What is that about? There we go, there's one card. It's less damp today. Oh, lovely, the 2 of trees. So another 2, and this time it shows the words at the top are something to do with the goddess. What does it say? Blessed is the mother who has given us shape, talking about the sort of mother earth. And this is a light opening up to a new way. So that's really beautiful. So once you get everything sorted, then we can start going. So trees. Sorry, it takes me one moment. Trees. Here we go. I like this one a lot. Breakthrough, new beginnings, opening to a higher level of awareness, friendship, union, lovers who may have broken up but will come back together. It's funny, I thought about friendships. It could be to do with a group of friends. I think it's something to do with having the 5 of Wands there, and that's a kind of group of friends. We haven't got the 3 of Cups, but there's something about a young playful energy. Could be. The picture's based on an actual scene. The trees form a gate that opens to a new experience. The sun lights the water beyond the trees so that we can see what looks like a golden pathway. The image suggests a gateway, a moment in our lives when we feel opportunities open before us. The sun is actually setting, as if the gate opens because one phase of life has ended and the next has ended. The roots of the trees touch like secret lovers, people who seem at odds or may seem to recoil from each other, but something bonds them together. Yeah, there's an element of that. You might have a sort of person in your life who's sort of very beguiling and interesting to you, but a bit prickly, I want to say. But it could be that it's something to do with the energy you give them as well. We might yeah, I mean, it's lovely. It's just saying there is a new start coming. It's just be a bit careful with how you look at the details at the moment. And let's just do this, finally capping it with some tiny rider weight. See if there's anything that wants to be added. Too many. My hands get a bit cold in the morning out here, but it's worth it. Yeah, okay, so it's pointing us towards what's coming up, saying remember that you might have to find your way back into the church. And what's your advice on that? Yeah, another card of pause. It's saying when you hit that moment, remember the divine pause of the hangman, and don't get panicked, because you are about to be in the centre of your world with the world card. Sorry, let's hide her a bit, where everything is just as it should be. Just remember that not to be put off when that bit happens, and then all will be right. And then just one comment on this Five of Wands, what's going on with there? Yeah, keep your head about you while you're having all that fun. Be the strategist, jump in with all the energy, and then be like a backgammon player. Keep your strategy about you, and all will be well. See you again.